The interactive sculptures are kind of little theatrical productions of their own. It's just you don't need any actors, just the audience. It's really fun when I do art whirl or exhibits to just see the way that people interact with them and how they start interacting with each other. There's something really soulful about working with wood. It was a living organism, and it has a personality. And I can kind of listen to its story and transform it once again, create a new story. I grew up in St. Paul. Right out of high school, I went to beauty school and became a hairdresser. And that kind of opened my world to things I had never experienced before. And then eventually went back to school and studied art. Once I graduated with an art degree, I started to notice that my work was theatrical in nature. And then I gravitated towards working with theater. So I worked in costume shops, but wasn't all that interested in just the straight sewing. So I started getting into the sculptural costumes, what you might call costume crafts. And I worked for the Guthrie and for Children's Theater, and found myself at Heart of the Beast and making masks and puppets, and got involved in performing. And then all this kind of led me on, I guess you could say, a search for myself. And I decided I wanted to leave the country to get to know myself better. Through the course of my traveling, I decided I wanted to learn how to carve wood. And I found a teacher here in Minneapolis, Konstantinos Papadakis. He's a well-known wood carver here. And I studied with him for 7 years. I wanted to do three-dimensional carving, and what I was learning with him was more the relief carving, which I love, but I wanted to do the more three-dimensional work. So I traveled to Bali, and I studied there over 3 months, learned how to hold the wood with my feet and sitting cross-legged and carving. So I learned that technique. And then after I got back, I just started combining the two of them and continuing working with theater, kind of in the production end of things in the technical theater. And it's really been in about the last 3 or 4 years that I've focused more on the automata. I set performing completely aside and just decided that I really wanted to focus on my visual work and working with my hands. Automaton is basically a machine. It's a machine that imitates human behavior. Monkey Man here, this was the first automaton I made of my own design. This one is called A Walk in the Park, and I just thought it was really funny, these little dogs, how when they run, their legs just go out in all directions. Here it goes. It's called Wake Up and Smell the Roses. And then the other caveat to this piece is that it's not just an automata, it is a cremation urn. So you can get cremated and still have open casket. I think gears are just beautiful. It helps just to have a mechanical aptitude, which I do, and working with puppetry and the joints and the mechanisms of puppetry, it wasn't that far of a leap. I applied for a state arts board grant and got it, and the proposal was to build automata that can be put in public places for just the general public to experience. It's called Birdhouse, kind of an understated piece for such a big thing. It'll be close to 12 feet when the birds are on it. I think this is the biggest piece I've ever done. Making larger work is challenging just because of the physical challenge of moving the piece around and not getting any younger. So watch out for there's the light there. Whoops, the bird's in the way. Having kind of worked in a lot of different areas has helped me with the work that I'm doing now, because I'm able to pull from all those different sources to kind of figure things out. So I'm going to start out at the Landmark Center, which for me is just kind of a perfect place. It's public access, but it's a place where there is a lot of art already, so it's not exactly an unexpected place to encounter something like this, but so I think it's kind of safe. I just feel called to do this work. I feel like I don't really have a choice. Not that I wouldn't choose to do this. I am choosing to do it, but it's calling me. I'm doing what I'm being drawn to do. I hope people will enjoy it. Not everybody will, and everybody has to, So I don't worry too much about success. I mean, I want it to work, and I want people to have fun with it, and I guess that'll be a success. It's functioning, so I'm happy. What's up?
Minnesota Original is made possible by the State Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.